Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Small Town Nerdcast. I'm your host, Brian, and I am late today. You know what's funny? I actually recorded an episode yesterday while driving in the car and completely forgot everything that I wanted to talk about with you guys. So I just ended up rambling for 20 minutes, and after I was listening to it, I was like, this is just garbage. Don't get me wrong. Most of what I record is garbage anyway, but this was even garbage on a whole nother level. So I realized we can't go this route. So didn't have time to record last night. I was hanging out with the family, and RJ was just being a complete turd at bath time. So I was not in the mood to record, and you guys wouldn't like me when I'm angry. You know, when I'm moved. That was a Hulk reference I was trying to do because I was going to segue into our first bit of nifty nerd news here. And that's that Marvel has dropped the official trailer for She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. And I am really behind this right now. I don't know if you guys have seen this trailer for She-Hulk, but it looks fantastic. It looks playful. It looks funny. It looks like there's going to be action. The actress whose name escapes me, so I'm going to go to IMDb and try to look her up. But she is fantastic in this. And look, it's like the first thing on IMDb is the trailer for She-Hulk. Wait, this is an ad. I don't want an ad for this. I want She-Hulk. That's what I want. That's what I came here for. But what's funny is I just saw a article that was talking about the She-Hulk trailer, and it's like Marvel fans need to calm down and stop being so horny. And it's sexy, man. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of, what is it, mommy things, like references and stuff, like they were doing with what's her name, Elizabeth Olsen. So yeah. Oh, here she is, Tatiana Manslani. I think I said that right, and I'm sorry if I didn't. She looks awesome, man. Oh wait, no, is that her? No, that's not her. No, is it? Is it? Who's this one? Okay, it's definitely not Jamila Jamil. Okay, so it is Tatiana. Okay. Anyway, sorry, got a little sidetracked there. I just lost in She-Hulk's eyes. But man, this just looks fun, dude. You get to see her in like a She-Hulk suit. Like it looks awesome. Bruce Banner's in it. I've heard reports that Benedict Wong is going to be in it. It looked like who's the guy that Wong fights in Shang-Chi? Is it the Abomination? Maybe is that who he fights? I can't remember, but it looked like he makes an appearance. And it looks like she's just going to be a lawyer for superhero or super villains in the Marvel universe, and things are going to probably get out of hand. Seeing as I'm sure she wasn't She-Hulk from the get-go. And if memory serves me well, and it doesn't most times, in the comic books, something horrible happens to Jen. And like either she gets shot or something else. And for Bruce, who is her cousin, like that is canon that they are related, to save her life, she needs a blood transfusion. And it was just like there was no other option, so he had to use his own blood, and that's what endows her, whatever you want to call it, with the powers of Hulk. So I'm excited, man. I like this direction. It looks more fun. I like where Marvel is going with their Disney Plus shows. You have Miss Marvel that's about to come out with She-Hulk. What else was there? I can't remember. That's on my head. But like those two both are playing in my mind right now because they both seem really fun. And like Miss Marvel seems fun for a teenager audience, and She-Hulk seems fun for a more young to adult audience. And so, I'm all for it, man. I don't know if you can tell. I am smiling just thinking about how much fun I'm going to be having watching all these new Marvel series on Disney Plus. What might tick me off though is the next bit of news, and it's not so much like, so I saw this article, and the article has nothing to do about what I'm upset about, but I had no idea. All right, hold up. Before I just derail this whole conversation. So the article says Disney Plus will not take ads for alcohol or politics to keep venue family friendly. So they're deciding coming up that they're not going to take ads for, beer and politics. But the big news to me is that Disney Plus is going to have an ad-supported version. And so what does this mean? And so I was freaking out trying to figure, because I pay for my Disney Plus. And if you're going to tell me that I'm paying and now I'm going to have to sit through commercials for my paid streaming service, I'm about to whoop some ass, all right? And after reading, it turns out, no, it looks like Disney is going to add a cheaper / free version of Disney Plus. And with that, you'll be able to watch content with ads. So I'm coming off my ledge here. I was getting really upset. I mean, not like I'm going to get rid of Disney Plus. It has too many great shit on it. But still, I would be very upset with my Disney Plus with all its great shit on it. Now, Netflix did shit like this, gone. Immediately gone. Straight to jail. But, yeah, and you know what? I think this is the next step for streaming services to add a free version with supported ads, or possibly, if they get crazy, man, I don't even want to say it because that's fucked up, but like a $5 version with ads. Because I mean, like, base pay for Netflix is like almost $20 now to like be able to watch it on multiple screens and shit like that. And it's getting really hard to justify that, to be honest. But who knows, man? But Disney Plus, like, I get it. Hey, you're trying to get Disney Plus out to everyone. Having a free version with ads is pretty cool. What is a little bit cooler about that too is that it says that they're not going to be placing it on children's content. So like if it's a kid's profile, which, if you've ever seen the kids profile on Disney Plus, you're very limited into the things that you can watch. And I don't know if you've ever done it with like Netflix accounts and anything like that, but it's only stuff that's rated for kids. None of the ads are going to be on those shows, which is great because if there's one thing kids hate, it is ads, unless it's for toys. And then they're like, holy shit, I want that. But you know what? I don't want my kid watching toy ads because then he's going to make me buy toys because now he does that, which is great for his development, but horrible for my bank account. So, anywho, I think it's interesting, and we're going to have to monitor what happens with streaming services going forward, but hey, it is what it is, I guess. And the last bit of nifty nerd news that I was going to share with you guys, and actually I was going to share, I think last week I wanted to share this, but the spinoff Ahsoka has already started production, and I cannot be more excited for this. Of course, Ahsoka was introduced in the latest Mandalorian season 2, and I fell in love immediately, but that's because Rosario Dawson is just everything. She's mama. Dude, I don't know what it is with Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, but chef's kiss. It's just been great, man. And this should be really cool. I wasn't initially a fan of the Clone Wars and like animated series, but then I got into it, and Ahsoka had quickly become one of my favorite characters, and it was fun to watch her growth and training and just her humor, everything and it was just fantastic. Like, she was a fantastic character. Getting to see an older version of her now through The Mandalorian and now through her own show. Looks like it's going to be a shit ton of fun. So, this is a good year for me. I've been so excited with what's been going on. Marvel and Star Wars, and everyone's just been branching off into really cool stuff. You got the Obi-Wan Kenobi show that's about to drop, I think in August it was. Maybe it was a little bit sooner, I can't remember. But holy crap, man, like, what a time to be alive. And I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean that in 100% truths, man. But yeah, so if you guys, I don't know, are you excited about all this shit? Like, I'm excited about all this shit. Hopefully you are, but maybe you're not. I don't know. Anyway, that's it as far as like news stuff that I wanted to share with you guys. Really, what's been going on with my life is not a whole lot. I've been playing a lot of the Division 2 because they have recently dropped a... sorry, I'm getting sidetracked here. But they recently dropped a new update for it, which introduced a new game mode, some new equipment and gear, which I'm all about. I'm going to probably be playing and streaming that very soon. So if you happen to be around, you know, you can head to twitch.tv/Bry-Fy podcast. That's BRYFY podcast, and see if I'm streaming, or you can check out my videos of past streams just to see what things are about. You know, I realize I haven't done a YouTube highlight of my streams in a while, and it's just because I've just been way too lazy to just sit down and go through a 2-hour stream, and I really shouldn't be, but I am. I need to make content, and I just haven't been. But yeah, so that's really what I've been up to, man. I've also been, damn, man, I have not been thinking about Animal Crossing until recently, and I need to make sure my island is still alive. I haven't been on it in over a month, or about a month, I think. So there's probably weeds all over the place, and that's no bueno, man. But yeah, really, that's kind of all I've been up to. You know, I haven't really been doing too much. Actually, I haven't really checked out the latest episodes of the Halo series on TV Plus, on Paramount Plus. So I don't really know what's going on there. I will say I've had this weird, I don't know, not weird experience, but this show has moments of pure Halo nostalgia where like the gunfights are so much fun, and watching Chief fight against fight against the Covenant has been fantastic. But some of the drama, like, there's multiple storylines going on. You know, you have the whole Covenant thing that you know, they're invading, so you have that to deal with. You have John, or Master Chief, trying to discover what these ancient artifacts from the Forerunner, well, they don't know it's from the Forerunners yet, but these ancient artifacts, and what do they mean? Why are they showing him his childhood? And he's slowly starting to realize that he wasn't like always born a Spartan or picked to be a Spartan. Like, he was kidnapped from a family. Like, he had a life before all this, and like he was taken from that life. And so he's discovering that, and that's getting him upset. Then you have this girl who was held captive by the Covenant and seems to have become one of them, but at the same time, she has this really deep and weird connection with John. So you're trying to figure out what all that's about. And then there's another storyline where this girl, where like the Covenant first attack in the series, her whole colony or village gets taken out, and her dad was like the leader of resistance fighters against like the oppressive government. And so there's her story going on, and it sounds mean, but I can completely do without her story. Like, I don't feel connected to her at all. Like, I'm more interested in what's going on with John and them. It would be different if she was a part of this, but I don't know, man. We're going to get into way too... Like, okay, here's how I would have done the show. Because, you know, I'm a perfect... A lot of people's complaints was that John has too much emotion. He has too much feeling. We see too much of his face in this show. You know, we should have gone the Mandalorian route with it, which I think would have played off really well with the character of Master Chief. to get the emotional side and the humor and the upsetness, that's where you would have used the girl. It should have been a situation where he had to keep her safe personally, like stay within her reach or make sure she stays with him. So that way you get her emotions and her reactions while, he's the stoic killing machine that he always is in like the beginning of the series. And maybe you show these like you can still show the flashes of his childhood and him having to deal with it, but it sounds mean, but why? Like, you don't have to show his face the whole time. I get like, hey, we want to see his face for emotion and let an actor act, but I think, it worked with The Mandalorian. Like, even with not seeing his face all the time, you could still feel his emotion in it, and I don't know why Paramount Plus didn't look at what they were doing with The Mandalorian and say, hey, we're about to do a show with a character that's almost tit for tat exactly like The Mandalorian, just with green armor, and let's play it that way. And it just, I don't know, man. I feel like it was a missed opportunity. I still enjoy the show, don't get me wrong. Like I said, there are definitely parts about it that I like. But now that I'm watching it, there are some things where I'm like, this is just excess, where it's not needed, or like I don't see the point of it right now. So I don't know. It turned out to be just a big review of Halo on Paramount Plus, which I didn't think I was going to do. But that's where I sit with it now, and that's kind of why I don't know, man. I'm not motivated to continue watching it, but I'm probably going to trudge through it in hopes that I get more Covenant fights and in hopes that things have a pretty nice payout. I do like their depiction of Dr. Halsey, though. For those, the uninitiated for Halo, Dr. Halsey is the scientist who starts the Spartan program, and she kidnaps the children. She's very dedicated to this program. And you just see how much she sacrificed, not personal sacrifice, but how much she ignores family and people's feelings for her means to get, like, everything that she does is like, which is horrible and unfeeling and neglectful, is all justified in her mind because it's to save humanity. And you get to see just how horrible she can be as a person, but they're trying to show that she does have a human side, and maybe she's learning about how much she has neglected with her family. They did make an interesting choice, making Dr. Halsey and Captain Keyes husband and wife, or at least they were husband and wife at one time, but they have a child, Miranda Keyes. So that connection is very interesting. Although, I guess in some ways it kind of makes sense because Jacob Keyes, he went with her, Dr. Halsey, to get the Spartans and like kidnap these kids and stuff. So maybe that's what they're playing off, them being apart or being together for so long, like feelings got involved and they, had a family. Now, in the video games, that is not the case, but hey, I don't think it's ever established who Jacob Keyes was, spreading his seed with. So it could have been Halsey for all we know. They also, and I don't know if this was purposeful or not, but they very much made him look like Sergeant Johnson and kind of give him a, not quite the Sergeant Johnson attitude, but definitely the very look of Johnson from the video games, like baseball cap and armor. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is Johnson. Like, they decided, hey, we can't have an individual black character. We got to combine him with this white character so that way we get the best of both worlds. And I don't 100% know how I feel about that, because it would have been, and I don't know, man. Like this Jacob Keyes in the Paramount show is more in the field than the video game version so far. So, I mean, I guess it works, but it would have been badass to have like a Sergeant Johnson dude just running around, cigar in his mouth, kicking ass and being like the badass human alongside of Master Chief. But we don't get that. Like, Paramount made their choices, and now we have to live with them. And ultimately, I guess by the end of the season/series, whatever they decide to do with this, we will decide if they were good choices or bad choices. Currently, I am optimistic about what they're doing with Captain Keyes/Captain Johnson, but it could be bad. I don't know. Look, if you know the video games, you know things don't work out for Keyes. So, not excited. Because I really like this dude. I like this actor. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, that's enough about Halo. Talked about the Division a little bit. Man, really the only other things I've been doing is watching some anime and reading manga. So two anime that I've been really loving here recently. They're both one's more of a rom-com. The other one is just adorable sandwich slathered in cuteness. Like that, those are the two shows. So the first show that is a rom-com is called Love After World Domination. It is essentially, what if a Power Ranger fell in love with a villain? They were both in high school. Because like it's not just like, oh, Red Ranger falls in love with Rita Repulsa. No, it's this guy. What do they call the Gelato 5? Gelato 5, because their colors are named after gelato flavors. Japan, people. But one of the villains, I think she's like Death Reaper or Miss Reaper or something like that. Like in her normal life, she's a high school student, but they both kind of like fall in love with each other and decide to start dating, and it's just adorable and cute, and I can't get enough of it because they've never been in this situation before. All they have ever cared about is doing their hero/villain things. And so, like, this is just, it's fun, man. I've been enjoying it and thought it's really cute. And them just trying to keep it a secret because, you know, they're from two warring sides in this whole thing. So it's fun. The other one, which is just cuteness slathered in just adorableness, is Spy Family, which I never thought I would think that based on, like, images and stuff from it. But Spy Family is great, or Spy X Family, whatever you want to call it. It has action. And it's just fun, man. So if you dig like spy thrillers, well, I wouldn't call it a spy thriller, but if you dig spies and assassins, this is probably the show for you, man. Really the premise for it is that like the world's greatest spy has to infiltrate a prestigious school to get close to his next target, to basically prevent war. Like that is like his whole purpose and his whole mission is to prevent a war from these two different nations. And like I said, he has to infiltrate a school to get close to his next target. Well, the best way to do that is he needs a daughter, or he needs a student, a child, to give a good reason why he's at that school. And while also being at that prestigious school, it would be weird if he was just a single father. So now he has to find a wife. So he has to find someone to play his daughter or a child. Well, okay, play his child. He ends up going with a girl who's his daughter, and he has to find a wife. And so he finds someone who is also looking for a relationship for their own reasons. And so it's really funny. And as it turns out, the girl that he adopts turns out to be a telepath who can read people's minds. So she knows that he is a spy. And it's funny to see her reactions to his thoughts and how sometimes it makes her look extremely smart. But then it turns out she's not maybe the brightest person in the world. And then the wife, like I said, she comes into the relationship for her own reasons. And it turns out in her secret life that they don't know about, she is like one of the greatest assassins around. And so she's using this family as a cover up. So she's not suspected for being an assassin and stuff like that. So it's really fun. But you also learn that like there are real feelings involved. Like these people are starting to become close. I don't know if it's like a love type rom-com situation, but it's definitely I really care about these people. And despite what my mission or my job is, there are feelings that I have that are either affecting that or making me choose them over what I normally would do. And so it's really cute. It's really fun. And I've really loved this show so far. And then both these shows got me starting to read the manga because they are only like, when I first started them, they were only like 2 or 3 episodes in. Now I think they're up to like 6 or 7 each. But the mangas go on much further than the shows do. So I've been just like crushing it through there, man. So yeah, that's really what I've been doing. Oh yeah, Casey One Piece update. She's on like episode 770 something, which is insane. She's almost caught up to the main series, and she has started from episode 1. I don't know how she does it, but she has been blazing through One Piece. It's pretty insane. So yeah, there's a Casey update. But that's it, guys. That's all I really had to talk to you guys about this week. I haven't really been reading any comic books. I have That Texas Blood Volume 2 sitting on my bookshelf. I might crack into that this week. I don't know, man. I got to see. I don't know, man. It's like there haven't been too many comics other than Saga that have really just spoken out to me. Although one of my friends, B. Rob from Random Ramblings with Rob, he recently got into Marvel Unlimited to start reading the comic books and like all the Marvel comics, and it's really got me wanting to get it again. I don't know, man. I just, justifying another streaming type of streaming service and paying for that monthly, it just man, it's getting harder and harder to do. But then again, I haven't been reading Marvel Comics for like 2 years. So there's tons of content and tons of stuff to start reading. And I think it's only $10 a month. So modern comic books are like $4 an issue. So as long as I read like 3 of them, I've paid for my monthly subscription, and I guarantee you I can burn through some comics quickly, man. So maybe it'd be worth it, 2 years worth of content that I've missed out on. Probably a lot of good stories. And, with all the new Marvel shows coming out, it would be good to see because there's probably going to be some reference to some of the new comics. I feel like a lot of the shows that I've been reading now, are seeing now on Disney Plus and with Marvel and all that, have been references to comic books that I was reading back in, 2018, 2017. I mean, I didn't start reading comic books until 2000, and I think I went to Instagram to see a post, and the first post that I had where I got my first comic books was in 2013. I thought I started reading in 2012, but it was 2013 when I started reading comic books. And so a lot of like the storylines and things that I see coming out of the MCU is from that time period between 2013 and 2018 when I was reading comic books. And so pretty exciting stuff, man. And so I get that probably here shortly they're going to start moving into newer comics and newer storylines. So hopefully that's some cool shit. And so I'm going to read that shit and be caught up with that shit. Anyway, I'm done with this shit, so I'm going to go play video games and stream on Twitch. You guys can do whatever the hell you want. Also, this podcast is not sponsored by Liquid Death, but I found this in a Target. It is a sparkling water, a flavored sparkling water with like no sugars or anything like that. It has 3 grams. Oh, never mind. I lied. It has 3 grams of sugar, but I think that is because of the whatever berry flavor is in it. It says it's all natural, but let's see. It's got carbonated mountain water, agave nectar, natural passion fruit flavors, natural mixed berry flavor, citric acid, natural hibiscus flavor, natural flavor, it just has natural flavor, natural black cherry flavor. It's pretty good though, man. It like I've had a lot of different sparkling waters and none come close to the unsweetened sparkling water from HEB, but this is a pretty good flavored sparkling water if I do have to say so myself. Like I said, not sponsored, just if you're into a cool soda alternative because you want something that's just crispy without all the sugars and stuff. Some sparkling waters, man, do it. They've been doing it for me. So yeah, not sponsored by Liquid Death, just a fan. But that's it for the show this week, guys. Thank you for hanging out and listening, and we will see you all next week. Later.